Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with another rearranging the top 50 anime from AniList, and today it'll be shonen anime. I've done slice of life, I've done isekai, and yeah, today is shonen. Now before I begin, a little bit of a note. uh, I know this is like, since this is shonen, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be at least 50% of the people who will be watching this who will definitely not disagree with my list, definitely not agree with my list, and that's fine, because this, again, let me just say at the beginning, I'm not judging the shows based on how good they are. I'm judging them based on whether I like it or not. You know, different people have different tastes, and I guess you could say my taste for shonen animes is a little bit different from other people. I've seen that a lot of shows that people are like, oh, this is crazy good. I'm not really that much of a big fan of them, and the few of them which people are kind of okay about, I really love them. It's like, that's my opinion on shonen. Like, you know, my opinion will definitely not mix with a lot of mainstream like, you know, like shows, like people, the ones that people love to the death. And that is why I'm like, yeah, a lot of things will not match. So again, I'm not ranking or judging the animes based on how good they are. I'm judging them based on whether I like it or not. And that's just something I wanted to clear at the beginning, because, and I wanted to clear this more in the beginning because this is the shonen tier list. Because oh boy, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about a lot of shonen shows, and yeah, I don't want any drama in that department. I just wanted to clear that up. This is my list based on my preferences. I'm not judging the show or basing anything on that, you know. And I'm kind of saying this because, like, I know I my taste will be a bit different than a lot of things that a lot of other people like. I probably won't like it, but you know, get started. And now another thing I need to mention at the beginning is shonen has always been probably one of the most below, like, average genres that I've liked. Like, it's always in the below average, like, you know, like if I make a ranking of the genres, shonen will probably be in the below average list, because I'm not that much of a big fan of shonen shows. You know, I like them as much as a lot of people like them, but if I had to rank like the genres, I'd definitely not put shonen at the top, because I know a lot of people are just die-hard shonen fans. You know, that's why, again, that's another thing I want to clear up, because shonen in itself is a genre that I generally do not prefer that much. You know, I prefer all the other genres, most of the other genres, like seinen, comedy, you know, like romance, like, and I even like rank romance higher than shonen. Like, that's the whole thing. So that is why, you know, oh, fantasy as well, you know. So that is why, you know, like, that is why my taste, you'll see when I make the list, my taste will be a bit of a different one. You know, like, ones that are the most shonen like will kind of be at the almost at the middle or something like that, I feel like. So yeah, now that is out of the way, let us get started. So like I usually do, and like I did for all the other shows, I have AniList open here. I'm seeing that AniList has a way better way of kind of like arranging the things. You know, like everything is like properly divided into genres. And I started with my anime list, but I've switched to AniList because I feel like the way they have arranged stuff here is a lot better than my anime list. Because my anime list has a lot of like, the way they arrange stuff is weird. Like, so I feel like this is a lot better. So I have my phone over here, and here I have the top 50 shonen animes, and I've put them over here, and I'm going to be rearranging them based on my taste. You know, so let's see how it differs from the official, what people like and what is the most popular alongside my preference. Also, another thing, there's a few animes here which I haven't put, which I don't feel like belongs in the shonen genre. Like honestly speaking, shonen is a vast genre. Like animes that are kind of like centered towards teenagers or kids are fall in the shonen genre. So a lot of other shows, like, you know, like Silent Voice, what else? A lot of romance shows I can see here that are over here. Like Horimiya is also here, I can see in the shonen list. You know, so these shows I haven't really put. I've kind of like taken them out because when I'm going to make the romance genre or something like that, I'll be putting those over there. So I feel like these like shows like Horimiya as a shonen, I can understand. It's targeted towards, you know, like teenagers. But I feel like in that way, I cannot really put them in because shonen, I don't know, like shonen is more as if like action and you know, like that kind of thing, like, you know, stuff that, you know, like not like romance centric. Like that's why I made a few of my decisions here and taken out a few animes here from this list that I haven't put. So these things I've kind of changed little here and there, but other than that, everything is as it is arranged in AniList, and I'm going to be rearranging them. So yeah, let us begin then. Okay, so the first one, obviously, oh, I've switched it into the most popular one. So the most popular one, the one that most people are following, will be like, you know, that's how it's arranged here in my in AniList in my phone, and I'm going to be rearranging them now. So the first one, the one that is in the rank 1 position, I'm pretty sure everyone can guess which is what it is. It is Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan. Okay, again I'm interrupting. Another thing I wanted to mention, I forgot. A few shows which I thought will be in the shonen list are not here. For example, One Punch Man. I thought One Punch Man was a shonen. Surprisingly, it isn't here in AniList. It's in the seinen, like, you know, list. I can see One Punch Man being a seinen, but I feel like One Punch Man is also kind of shonen, isn't it? I don't know. I have no idea. So that's why One Punch Man isn't here. You know, like it'll be there in the seinen list when I make it. So yeah, like I just interrupted again. So yeah, there you go. Like now that it's all out of the way. Yeah, the number 1 here in AniList is Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan. I'm pretty sure everyone guessed this would be in the top, and so for now I'm going to put it at the top here. It will be, I don't know, like I'll rearrange it definitely because Attack on Titan is definitely not my top shonen show. However, it is quite good. You know, like I remember, like at that season 1, season 2, I was like, oh, it's good. Season 3, I really started liking, and from then onwards, it started like, you know, getting better and better, and it took an interesting turn that a lot of other shows doesn't take. So in that department, I have to say, like give props to the author. He did a really amazing job to make a show which is like shonen like, but at the same time it isn't really shonen like. There's a lot of deep thinking, you know, like things that you have to think about while watching this show. A lot of things that like isn't really, you know, like shonen-esque. For example, the main character, yeah, like, he definitely doesn't belong in a shonen anime. You know, the way he's going, but that's why like I said, it's kind of unique. It has a different take on the whole you know, like shonen, like, you know, like in the whole shonen thing, but it is considered a shonen anime. That's why it's here. So overall, it is not my top anime in my, like, you know, shonen list, but it is, you know, kind of at the top, maybe the top 20. Attack on Titan is there. For now, I'll keep it at the top because I'm going to be arranging it. That's why. So yeah, Attack on Titan, yeah, I like it, but I wouldn't really put it at the top. For now, it's here. You know, like it's a good show, and it hasn't even ended. We still haven't seen the ending. I don't really know. Like I have kept myself spoiler free, at least kind of. You know, I do know the ending a lot of people didn't really like. I don't know what exactly happened, but I do know that a lot of people didn't like, and it like made a lot of outrage. And I'm just waiting here for the anime to come, and then I'll judge it myself. I'll watch it and then I'll judge it myself, whether I agree with the general public or I have a different take on it. You know, so for now, I cannot really say anything about that. Up until where the anime has covered, I do know what has happened. So, you know, up until there, I have to say, it's definitely very unique. And there's one thing that I really like is uniqueness in shows. So yeah, Attack on Titan is there for now over there. Alright, the next one is Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer. I'm going to put Demon Slayer below Attack on Titan. It's a really good show, I have to say. Even though a lot of people kind of like, you know, like are like, Demon Slayer, same old, you know, like blah blah blah. But just, you know, like I feel like if you have to like be critical in that way, I feel like watching anime is kind of pointless. If you're critical about each and everything and each and every, like, you know, thing, just enjoy a show for what it is. Overall, it's a really good show. You know, like you cannot deny that the show has a solid story, it has a very good structure, it is shonen like, obviously, like friendship, that kind of stuff, like a boy with a sad story, like goes off to save his sister, that kind of story. And yeah, it has a good structure, it has a good storyline, it has good developments, like characters, even like not side characters, but side supporting characters, they have their time to shine. We get to know more of these characters, they're good villains. So overall, it's a solid show. So like, obviously, like I can like nitpick about everything and say something like, oh, this is bad, this is repetitive, this, that, blah blah blah, but I'm not going to do that, because if you have been like following my channel, you'll know I'm very casual about like judging animes. I don't really judge animes unless and until it's something that I feel very strongly about. So overall, these type of problems that I've heard a lot of people say a lot of amount of times, like, oh, this isn't explained, how did this happen, this and that, blah blah blah, I don't really care. That's just it. I just like to enjoy how it is. So in that way, I really rank it higher. And obviously, like if you include the animation in it, Yofutable's animation, god tier. Like like it makes the show even better. So so that is why like I'm going to keep it here for now. Again, I'll rearrange all of this. It's definitely not my top few shows, but it's there. It's there on the top. I like Demon Slayer. It's a very nice show. Okay, Death Note. Okay, I'm going to be putting Death Note at the top for now. Like, no questions about it. I was surprised to see Death Note at the Shonen, but I can see it being a Shonen, I would have liked to put it in the Seinen list, but Shonen, yeah, I can see, it has the whole battle, like, like battle of wits kind of, like, like thing, and that kind of thing. So, Death Note is here at the top for now, even though it isn't really my top Shonen, but it's there at the top. That's why I'm putting it here at the beginning, before Attack on Titan, before Demon Slayer. I'm pretty sure everyone has watched Death Note. However, Death Note does go a little bit weak towards the later half. Light is the only one who kind of keeps the quality on going after. I'm pretty sure at this point of time everyone has watched Death Note, so I don't think there is any problem me saying something that might be considered spoiler. If you haven't, please close your ears or skip past this section, because I need to talk about it, otherwise I won't be able to give my opinion. So yeah, as I was saying, so the fact that like the later half of the show was kind of like kept going by Light after L's, like like after L goes or dies, the show, I feel like a lot of people agrees with me on this. The show kind of like went kind of down a little bit, but Light was still there. So Light, I feel like the later half of the show was fully carried by Light. However, the first half of the show was carried both by Light and majorly by L. L was the one who carried the show at the first half, in my opinion at least. He really carried it. I loved seeing L on screen. I loved seeing his, like, the stuff that he does, and like, how he caught, like, and how he, like, brain works and everything, and how he made these plans and everything. So like L was like, at least for me, was like the center of like the whole thing. And then when he, like, he dies, and then in comes another character. I think his name was Nier or something, as far as I can remember. It wasn't that, I didn't get that feeling back again, and like my attention went to Light after that, because Light was the person who was keeping the show going from that point onwards. So yeah, overall it was good, but that last half I wasn't really like, it had a interesting ending, like I guess you could say a good ending kind of, but like I would have loved if L was throughout the whole thing. But that's the only, I guess you could say, thing that I'm pretty sure a lot of people disliked. But overall it was a great show, like, and the thing is, like, I feel like Nier in himself was a very capable character, but Light overshadowed him by, not Light, sorry, L overshadowed him by such a margin that like the hurdle was high. L made such an impact in the first half of the anime that whoever came after that would definitely go down. He would be overshadowed by L. So that is the main thing. I feel like if it started with Nier and then ended with L, I feel like a lot of people probably would have praised the anime a lot more. It kind of went from here to here, so it's kind of, but like, not talking about all of that. overall, it's a really good show. Lovely show. I'm going to put it there at the top for now. All right, the next one, it is My Hero Academia. Right, okay, this show. For now, I'll be putting it at the bottom now. Again, these are all my opinions. I like My Hero Academia, but you can probably see from here onwards it's going to go down and down, because I'm pretty sure by the end of this tier list, My Hero Academia will probably be here or maybe here. Like I can say that guaranteed now, because even though it's a good show, it's not up to my tastes. Yeah, there are really good sections, and I have to say the story currently in the anime that is ongoing has really improved, and I really like the direction it took suddenly. But still, I don't know what it is. It's not up to my taste. I don't know what. I cannot really pinpoint the reason why I rank a lot of other shows higher than My Hero Academia, even though I fairly enjoy it. Probably because of I don't know. I'm not really sure. Maybe because of but still. You know what? I'm not really sure. I feel like, okay, you know what? I feel like I know one reason. One reason I feel like is the vast amount of characters. Yeah, having many characters is good, but I feel like sometimes having so many characters is actually kind of counterproductive, and that's what happens here. This is a show which I feel like tries to focus on every single character, which is good. I appreciate that. I like when the characters are not forgotten, even though a few of them are kind of forgotten now and then, which again is also another disadvantage of having a vast cast. But at the same time, trying to focus on the main supporting characters, so many of them, I feel like kind of makes the show a little bit, I don't know, not up to my taste. I'm sure a lot of people definitely likes this style, but I at least don't really like this way of storytelling, or you can probably see the ones that are before My Hero Academia. Yeah, it has a good sizable amount of character, but if you can probably focus, and you'll see most of them focus on a particular 3 or 4 characters only. Demon Slayer has four of them, 5, if you include Nezuko. And then Attack on Titan had 3. Death Note had 2 mainly. However, My Hero Academia, even though there are main characters whose focus is over there, like Deku and the others, however, they try to focus on everyone. Again, that is good, but I feel like in a show of that many vast amount of characters, heavy focus should be provided on the main few alongside the others as well. Yeah, the others should get a lot of screen time, a lot of focus, but to make the main characters shine even brighter, they need to, I don't know, do something even crazier, which is a very difficult job having. That's why I'm saying having that many amount of characters whose focus is just on them, it's kind of difficult to make a story on that. And overall, it's a good show. I do enjoy myself, and like I said, the recent few seasons, I'm really enjoying it. But it will probably go down from here onwards, because there's a lot of other shows I rank a bit higher than My Hero Academia. Again, it's just my choice and just my taste. It might differ for other people. Okay, next one, Jujutsu Kaisen. Right. Wait a minute, I need to think here. You know what? I have to do this. I'll have to put Jujutsu Kaisen before Demon Slayer. Now, there's a reason. This wouldn't be here if I made this list before season 2 came out. Jujutsu Kaisen would probably be here below Demon Slayer. But season 2 came out, and I loved season 2, especially the first half. With Gojo's whole thing, that 5 episodes were beautiful. I loved it. And now it's also really getting an interesting and everything. So overall, season 1 for Jujutsu Kaisen was kind of slow for me. It had a few of the good sections, but it was basically oh, it's just another shonen show, kind of like that. But then season 2 came out, and I watched the first 5 episodes, and I'm like, damn, right, this is actually so good. and then also Utah's story. I loved Utah's story as well. I feel like everything started from there. Even though I didn't watch the movie before the season 2, I watched season 2 and then I watched the movie. But for other people watched the movie first and then the season 2. So I feel like where it started was the movie, like the movies, and then also after watching the movie, it also changed my mind about Jujutsu Kaisen. But I don't know. Like I feel like the first season was a bit slow. It was, like it was slow. It was trying to develop the characters, but felt like the same, like copy paste shonen formula. But then season 2 came out, and we got to know Gojo's whole story, and now I am really looking forward to it. I have my, I really changed my opinion about this, and it's kind of gone up a little bit. That is why it is over here for now. Even though it will go down, there are a few shows that I'll be putting before Jujutsu Kaisen, because I adore them way much more. But Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of becoming I'm starting to like it more and more. So there you go. It's there for now. Alright, Hunter x Hunter at the top immediately, even before Death Note. I love Hunter x Hunter quite a bit more because obviously Hunter x Hunter. Wait, just a minute. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter after this. Okay. Quite a bit more because Hunter x Hunter, again, it is like Hunter x Hunter's story is a bit different from the normal shonen formula. It has a lot of shonen stuff and everything, but it becomes quite interesting, and the more you watch it, you realize how the main character, Gon, isn't really like one of the shonen main characters. He has a very interesting characteristic and a very interesting, I guess you could say, personality or his way of thought. Like, Gon is a very interesting individual. Like, at first you'll not understand. If you just watch the first few episodes or the first few arcs of Hunter x Hunter, you'll not understand. But the way you watch the show more, you'll understand little by little how different Gon is from the main characters of other shonen shows. If I have to say, I'd probably say Killua seems more of a shonen main character. Even though at the beginning, you don't get that feeling. You feel like Killua isn't really, like anywhere near a shonen character. But as you watch more, your whole opinion will reverse on how these two are, Gon and Killua, and it'll completely reverse by the end of it, where you'll realize how far off from a shonen main character is Gon, and how Killua is more of a shonen main character. I'm trying to talk about the personality. I'm not really saying much because I feel like a few people might not have watched Hunter x Hunter. You should do so because it's a very interesting twist. And like the thing about Gon is that, again, like these are all spoilers, I feel like, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people have watched Hunter x Hunter. If you haven't, close your ears and skip, from up from this part. Like Gon's whole thing is like how shonen main characters are always goes for the justice thing. Gon's justice is very interesting outlook on justice. He's actually a blank slate, a sponge, you could say. Like whatever, like he's just curious about stuff, and it doesn't matter what morality of that thing is. Like he's just curious. Things that happen. He's just curious about how did someone do it. He doesn't care about the morality of it. Little by little we understand that at the end, and I was actually very, what can I say, intrigued by that when I actually got to understand what type of person, especially in the what arc was that? Was it the Chimera? No, I think it was before that. Oh, it was the no, it was the Chimera Ants arc, wasn't it? Yeah, where we get to, I think it was, yeah, it was that. Yeah, where we get to know how much of a different character he is than we thought he was. And that really intrigued me, honestly, because I was expecting something and I got something else, and I was very interested by that. Like I was, since it's a shonen anime, I was expecting it to go to the similar shonen, route and everything, but the way it changed, I was really intrigued. And yeah, like I really like this show. It's a really good one. So there you go, Hunter x Hunter is there. All right, the next one is interesting to see how AniList ranks the shows, because in my anime list, Full Metal Alchemist is always at the top, and now we have Full Metal Alchemist in AniList, and I would like to put it at the at the top for now. Yeah, even before Hunter x Hunter. Like I remember watching Full Metal Alchemist, and I a lot of things happened. I feel like I've forgotten a lot of the deep hitting, hard hitting stuff. But one thing I remember, Full Metal Alchemist is a show which makes you think about a lot of things. You know, like again, I'm not really able to properly express myself because it's been a while I've watched this, and there's quite a few things that I don't really remember from this show. But there's a lot of things you need to think about. Like in this show, which it's a way it's a lot deeper than typical shonen shows go. And the more you watch it, the more you understand by the end of it, like with the whole life and death drama going on, like it's Fullmetal Alchemist is kind of like a life and death drama. There's a lot of things that you have to, like that dabbles with life and death. And the more you watch it, the more I watch it, the more I was like, okay, this is very different. And then I could understand why it was always at the top of my anime list. Even though, like I said, in AniList, it isn't really at the top. It's at kind of like at the bottom. It was here. Not at the bottom, but at the bottom of top 10. Even though in my anime list, Full Metal Alchemist, if you know, is always at the top, number one. But yeah, like for now it's here. It will change though. I'm going to kind of change it up. But for now it's there. So yeah, it's a really good show. Like it's an old show. I'm talking about Brotherhood. I'm not talking about Full Metal Alchemist. I'm sorry if I yeah, I should have mentioned that Brotherhood. Yeah, Brotherhood. So I should have mentioned that. I'm talking about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So I haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist, the one that goes in a different direction from the manga. So yeah, overall, by the end of it, and you know what's the good thing about Full Metal Alchemist is it has a good start, it has a good middle, and it has a good ending. Right? It's like a whole package. It actually shows the whole story of a boy from the beginning to the end, and like when everything goes and everyone lives happily ever after, up until that, in a very concise way. It's not as big as Naruto or the other shonen shows, long-running shonen shows, but in a limited amount of space, it gave us a whole story which made you think, and it gave you a happily ever after ending, which I really appreciate. So yeah, for now it's at the top. And then comes Naruto. Okay, again, I'm going to put Naruto at the top, mainly because of nostalgia. And yeah, nostalgia is a big factor here. Like I grew up with Naruto. Like, what can you say? Like, when I was a kid, when I went to school, when I was like I don't know, like a junior schooler or something, I remember watching Naruto on television. I remember talking to my friends about Naruto. A few of them did kind of watch Naruto, and but I remember most people just talking about Dragon Ball Z. There was one or two of my friends who mainly watched Dragon Ball Z. They did watch Naruto, but wasn't really that many people. So I remember trying to talk to them, but they were like, yeah, okay. And then they switched the whole topic to Dragon Ball Z. So I didn't really have that many people to talk about, but I did have like my fun watching this, and and I still remember like it was television, so like unless and until you are there every time, you cannot. If you miss it, you miss it. Unless and until you get a repeat telecast. I remember skipping and missing a lot of the episodes. And like the one section that really fascinated me was in the land of the fog, I think. Was that what it was called, or land of the waves? I don't remember. The whole Zabuza and Haku, like when Naruto transforms for the first time. That was like the best thing there, and I remember being so excited about that. And going to school and saying like, you saw what happened, like that was crazy amazing, and yeah, I remember, boy. Yeah, so it holds a very big sentimental and a nostalgic value for me. So yeah, and even if I take all of that out, it's a solid story. It's a very solid story. It's the story of a boy who is the underdog, who becomes the best and the strongest. So Naruto, the Naruto Shippuden, we don't talk about from that point onwards though. We don't talk about Boruto. Boruto is just so yeah. Naruto Shippuden, yes, beautiful. So there, like I'm including both Naruto and Naruto Shippuden in this. So there you go. That's why it's here at the top. And it will go down though. Naruto will not be my top. There's a few others that's there, but it will stay high up. I can guarantee you that. One Piece. Now, I haven't watched it. I have watched the first 100 episodes, so I'm going to put it there. I feel like this would have gotten at the top if I had watched One Piece, because I've heard it's a really good, and I myself watched the first 100 episodes. It was really good, and I've heard that it gets better and better. So, because of lack of time, and like it's just like like One Piece is like looking at a mountain. You're at the bottom and you're looking at the mountain. You're like, God damn, what? When will I even start and when will I even reach there? That is basically One Piece. So I feel like all these shows, like, if I started One Piece a way earlier, I probably would have been able to catch up to everything. But the fact that I kept One Piece for later and now I'm like, God damn, it's so big, I even think about when to start and like, what time to invest. That's what I say. I feel like if I probably the same would have happened if I didn't start Naruto or the other shonen shows way before when I was a kid, and I tried to start it now. I probably would have not start just because it's so big. Like I try to avoid big stories nowadays, like which has like 100 episodes or something. As soon as I see that, I'm like, oh no, I cannot start this. When even will I invest my time? I don't have that amount of time. I have a lot of other stuff that I do. So it cannot, like that's why I feel like short animes, a lot of people complain about short animes nowadays, but I feel like short animes are the best now, at least for me, because I can start one and I'm not overwhelmed by the amount of episodes there is. So I look at One Piece, I want to start, but I'm like, God damn, I cannot. I won't have the like time to provide it. So yeah, like I should have started one of my big mistakes. I should have started One Piece way long time ago. The only time I can probably watch One Piece now is way later in the future. Like when I have really nothing to do, like I've like retired or something from everything. I'm just an old man sitting down waiting, for the days to go by. Maybe I'll start One Piece then. I feel like that's probably what's going to happen because I really have no time. I want to watch it, but I cannot. It's impossible. So yeah, it's just there. I'm gonna keep it there. I'm pretty sure it would have gone at the top if I had watched it, but unfortunate. I cannot really judge a show without watching it. Alright, Promise Neverland. This show, they butchered the thing so bad. I'm gonna put it here for now. It's gonna go down and down. This episode, season 1 was good, and then they went downhill completely. The anime was trash, especially season 2, and I don't know about the manga though. I've heard the manga is better, but it's still a few people still complain about the manga, about how it went in a bad direction or something. I don't know, but that's just what I've heard from other people. But I've watched the anime and I know like how how much in a bad direction the anime goes. Yeah. So for now, it's just there. It's gonna go down and down. It had a very solid concept, but it just went in such a bad direction. Alright, next, Ass Class or Assassination Classroom. Ooh, yes, I'm gonna put this before Demon Slayer. Yeah, I have to put it before Demon Slayer. Assassination Classroom, I'm sure. Wait, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, one more will. Alright, Assassination Classroom is like, I was thinking, should I put it before Jujutsu Kaisen? But I don't think I can put it before Jujutsu Kaisen. At least after season 2. If this was before season 2, I probably would have put it before. But yeah, but Assassination. But you know what? Wait a minute. Let me think. No, yeah, you know what? It's here. I think this is better. Over here is better. It's a solid show. It's a really good show. And like Assassination Classroom is just one of those shonens. I wouldn't even call it. Yeah, I guess it is a shonen. It does have shonen vibes. It's one of those shows which is, again, takes a unique direction in the shonen formula. And it's about a teacher teaching his students, and the school just trying to assassinate him and all that. And it's so good, like so many things like you learn from this show, and like human values and stuff. and we get to see how so many characters like get better and better. And I feel like Assassination Classroom kind of suffers from the same thing that went with My Hero Academia, is that it has so many characters that there's a lot of characters that I feel like didn't really get enough justice, didn't really have that much amount. They just got clumped together with all the others. So this is so like, it's difficult to make a show with so many characters and so many main characters, because I feel like the whole class was important in the show, and since the whole class was so important, they needed to make sure that each and every character got a similar treatment. However, it's kind of impossible to do that, because you always need to pick your favorites out of them, like the 3 or 4 characters that are like the main important characters, and the others kind of get forgotten and just they're in the background. So I feel like if they were able to somehow make that work out, this would have gotten even higher. But overall, it's a show that I really loved. It's a really good show. I'm sure everyone has watched it, and it's a bit different from the typical shonen. And yeah, it was quite emotional as well. Like, I remember the final episode. Good God. My God. Right. And the next one is, wait a minute, Mob Psycho 100. Right, this is going to go at the, okay, I'm going to put it here. Yep, below Hunter x Hunter, but before Death Note. Mob Psycho 100 is one of the best shows, especially the final season. And the way it, like, just, oh, this show is just, it's a joy to watch, because it is, again, I don't really know if this should be put in a shonen list. Like, it is there in the shonen. Yeah, I get, like, what the weird thing is? The weird thing is that Mob Psycho is in the shonen list, not One Punch Man. I was so, like, I don't know, like, how how this, like, I'm just following AniList, I have no idea, like, how they do this. Like, it's so surprising. Mob Psycho is here, however, One Punch Man isn't here in the list at all. It's in the seinen list. I would have expected Mob Psycho to be in the seinen, no, maybe not seinen, maybe fantasy or something. But shonen, I have no idea. I really have no idea. But it's there, so I'm just putting it there and I'm judging it. So yeah, Mob Psycho is going to be here for now. One of the really good shows. Like, it has, like, what can I say? One of the best characters. Reigen Arataka. He's a character. Good God, like, there's so many things. And like, I just loved Reigen's character. And obviously Mob is there. Mob is the main character and everything. I loved Reigen. Reigen was a joy to watch, and seeing his development was an absolute treat. And seeing how he changed little by little. And not only that, I loved Mob's development in the end. The whole Tsubomi like situation in the end, I wasn't expecting anything to come out of that. But the way he handled it by the end of it, he kind of went a little bit, oh, I'm forgetting, Dimple as well. Dimple is another character I didn't really expect that would grow on me that much by the end of it. Like so many characters were just there, and I was like, it's fine, they're there. But then by the end of it, I'm like, okay, these characters they developed them so much, and they have like, and yeah, like it was really good. And like I said, I wasn't expecting anything to come by the end of it, especially with the whole Tsubomi situation. But the way Mob changed by the end of it, and way he learned how to, I don't know, like, learned how to grow as a character, as a person by the end of it. And the way he handled it by the end, it was beautiful. I was very happy by the end. And yeah, it is a very good show, a solid show. It definitely deserves in the top, like in the top position. So I'm going to put it there. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. There we go. All right, now the next show is Haikyuu. I haven't watched Haikyuu. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about it, but I haven't watched, so I'm not going to be judging that. Noragami. Okay, where should I put Noragami? The thing is, Noragami, there's not many things to go off on. It only has 2 seasons. So, you know what? I'm going to put it here for now. Like, it's a good show, but I feel like I need more, like, I'm not a manga reader. I don't really usually read manga. I don't know what happens, but only 2 seasons. I feel like I was going to put it before My Hero, but I feel like it's unfair to do that because My Hero, like, even though I'm not really that much of a big fan of the story and the way it goes, like, yeah, Noragami, I cannot put it before that because Noragami has almost nothing in matters of anime. So yeah, I cannot do that. But yeah, overall, at least for the anime that I've watched, it's a good show. Um, Again, it's not really like not according to my taste at least. I like it, but um, yeah, it's okay. Like it's kind of average in my list. I cannot really say much. Like it's an interesting show, but I'm not that much of a big fan of it. So yeah, like based on my preference, I'm gonna be putting it here for now. It's probably gonna go down and down, you know. But yeah, there you go. All right, Nanatsu no Taizai, I'm gonna put it here. Even though I've watched the first 2 seasons, I haven't watched anything after that. So I cannot really judge it. I've heard it is bad, but that like like especially the animation like completely butchers everything. The manga I've heard is really good, but I don't really read manga that many times, so I would have gone for the anime, but I've heard the anime like goes downhill from there, especially the season 3. So I didn't watch it, and that is why I cannot really judge it. You know, I cannot really judge it based on the first 2 seasons. So I think I'm gonna put it here for now. So yeah, there you go. All right, the next one is Black Clover. I think yes, Black Clover. Right, Black Clover is going to go up. Where should I put it? I'm going to put it before Death Note. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people won't agree with me on this, but I have to do that. Yeah, I have to do that before Death Note. Oh, yeah, I feel like a lot of people will disagree in this section. Like they'll be like, Black Clover before Death Note? What? How is this? But yeah, it's I just prefer Black Clover. I love Black Clover. Black Clover is amazing. Oh boy, I wasn't really a big fan of it at the beginning, but the way it redeemed itself and the way it started getting better and better, and now that I'm hearing it's going to get even more better, I'm looking forward to it. And like this is one of the shonens that I'm really looking forward to. Like I'm sure we'll get more seasons. We had the movie. Hopefully we're going to get like a renewal of like like the show and sequel and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure Black Clover is a mobile game coming out. After it comes out, I'm pretty sure we're going to get some kind of an announcement after that oh, new season of anime or something like that. I can feel that. So yeah, this is a show I'm just there. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm just waiting for it to come back. I really love Black Clover, and yeah, it's there. So yeah, my preference, like I have to put it before Death Note. I'm sorry, but yes, I just adore Black Clover. Okay, next one, Akame ga Kill. Right, Akame ga Kill. I'm not a big fan of the anime that much. The anime, the first season, no, the first half. Sorry, I don't think it had 2 seasons. The first half, yeah, it was shocking and stuff. But then the next half, I feel like kind of it's like a okay. You know what? I'm gonna put it here for now. Before Noragami, yeah, before Noragami. But like yeah, because I also read the manga, and the manga has such a better ending. I don't know why they decided to do something like that to the anime. Like at least I prefer the manga ending. I don't know about you guys, but like I didn't really understand what the point was for the anime. Like they decided to kill every single character off. What? Why? Except one or two. Like what was the point of it? Like I feel like this show just went on based on the whole shock factor. Like goddamn, like the shock factor was like probably the main theme of this show. And if you know, I hate characters dying in shows, especially main characters. I hate that. Like I feel like characters that I kind of spent my time like kind of like like getting to know more about and everything. If authors just kill them off for the shock factor, I'm very disappointed in those type of development. Yeah, if a death is meaningful and it has a reason and something like like that, I can understand that. But I don't know, like just killing off characters just for the sake of it and just because like like you can, it's not like like it's I don't like it. So yeah, so this is one thing I feel like my opinion might differ from a lot of people. A lot of people say how death brings out the better in a lot of mangas and animes, but my opinion for like for that is I'm not a big fan of it. I try to, like, in my opinion is like I would like the author to try to avoid killing off as much as much people as they can, and I would appreciate that, because I don't like it. I really don't like it. Like like getting to see the characters that you kind of like like kind of get like a little bit of like attached to them, just killing them off just for the sake of it. It's not really but yeah, like Akame Kill had a lot of that. They just, it was crazy. It did show the brutality of the whole world, and a lot of people might argue that, oh, that's way more realistic than every character having like freaking 100 plot armor. But that's just, I'm not a big fan of that. I would prefer characters to have like 5 plot armors if they could be avoided, if it could be avoided that they get killed. Again, that's why I'm saying a lot of people will disagree with me on this, and fair enough, because I do know like my take on this whole thing is a bit different, because that's what I'm trying to say here. Like I would prefer a character to have 5 plot armors, unlike them just dying. If you need plot armors for a character to stay alive, I would appreciate that. Which, that's why I'm saying a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but like that's just me, I guess. But again, I'm putting it here for now. That's why. Okay, wait. Dr. Stone, I think that's the next one. Yeah, the next one is Dr. Stone. All right, Dr. Stone. Where should I put it? Oh, I'm gonna put it here. I was thinking about putting it before Demon Slayer, but no, over here. Yeah, this, I'm gonna put it here. Dr. Stone is a good show. It's very nice. It's very interesting. There's a lot of like mystery, suspense, thriller going on, and it has science in it. And like it makes science so interesting. And Senku is a really amazing character. Like based on main characters, I would have to say Senku is probably one of the most coolest main characters I've seen. He's a shonen main protagonist. Even though he is that, he's very confident, and rightfully so. He is smart as hell, and I just love that about Senku so much. Like half of the shonen animes, you see the characters being like, can I do this? Am I worthy enough? Am I strong enough? Like I'm not that strong, and like like kind of like that. That's basically shonen. Like a character who is just there crying as the underdog, they get better, and that's what people enjoy. But I really love Senku for one thing, is that he's not like that at all. He's confident as hell, and he's like, yeah, everything's fine. I'm here. Like don't worry. Like, and he has he's obviously rightfully so. He's extremely brainy. Anyone who has that amount of intelligence will definitely be way more confident on themselves, and that's what is quite unique about this. Like Senku is like the main like attention, and I love that. I love when a show's main attention is the main character themselves, because shonen shows are a type of shows where that's usually not the case. The attention is on the others, but they become the main attention little by little. That's basically the shonen formula. However, Senku is the main attention from the beginning, and I just love that about him. And I feel like that is why I love these shows as well. If you think like Full Metal Alchemist, like the main character, what is his name? Edward? Yeah, I think. Was that his name? It's been so long, I've forgotten his name. He was also like this confident character who had a lot of strength and who was like very confident in themselves. The focus was kind of on him for most of the time. Hunter x Hunter as well, if you could think about it, like, like Gon was really strong from the beginning as well. A lot of characters' main attention was on them, you know. And Mob Psycho, yeah, kind of. Not Black Clover though, not Naruto, but like I kind of appreciate a lot of the times when the characters are actually confident in them and they're like the main one. And yeah, so that's why it's there. Like Doctor Stone is really good, and I love the little science things that they do. So yeah, right. Aono Exorcist. I wasn't expecting to see Aono Exorcist here this high, but it's a really good show, rightfully so. I'm gonna put it over here. You know, no, what am I doing? Here. There you go. Yeah, I think that's better. This is better. Aono Exorcist is really good. Even though it has 2 seasons. It's such a shame, like it had really nice animation, it had a really interesting story, But then I don't know why they never continued this. I really have no idea, but it was a good story, and I feel like Aono Exorcist kind of reminded me a lot of Iruma-kun, kind of, like even though those two shows have nothing similar to that, but I feel like the setting was a lot like that, like the whole school and a school setting, and them having like these supernatural powers and everything, kind of more related to the fantasy way, like like we have Satan, we have all the other like characters who have these type of powers. So these things. So Aono Exorcist is just, it's a good show, but I feel like it probably could have been higher if it got a little bit more seasons. Unfortunately, we don't have those. It has only 2 seasons, and that is it. So yeah, there you go. Right, the next one is, okay, this one's, I was very surprised seeing this here, Kakegurui. How is Kakegurui in a shonen list? I was baffled. But I guess I can see it being shonen, kind of. I don't know. I was very surprised seeing Kakegurui here. And you know what? Just because it is so unique, I'm going to put Kakegurui over here. Kakegurui is very unique. If, like it, I feel like based on shonen, in the shonen list, it should be at the bottom. This probably would have been higher if this was some other list. I'm putting it here for now, that is why. After, like Dr. Stone. Like, Kakegurui is very interesting. It has a very different theme from the other shows, which is gambling, I guess. And, like the way the characters do the stuff and everything. And Jabami Yumeko is probably one of the best characters. She's just, yes, beautiful. Like her confidence, her daredevilness, and her craziness, everything, like, included. She's just probably one of the best main characters, and it's just pure craziness. And like I remember like seeing Kakegurui when Mappa wasn't even that popular, I guess you would say. Like like Mappa has been doing this for quite a while, and nowadays Mappa is very popular. That back when Kakegurui came out, Mappa was fairly popular. It wasn't as huge as it was nowadays. Like nowadays we're getting to see every show being picked up by Mappa. Back when that wasn't a thing, Kakegurui was like made by Mappa, and I remember like like I was like, damn, these animations are really nice, But yeah. But anyways, so yeah, it's a very unique show. Even though I didn't really like season 2 that much, I remember like they completely changed the story direction. Like the manga goes in a different way, and the anime goes in a complete different way in season 2, introducing a few new characters that are having like a new little anime only storyline or whatever. I don't know why they did that, probably because there wasn't enough source material for them to adapt. But I was bummed out. I was like, why did they go in this direction? But like hopefully someday if we get more source materials, we get Kakegurui back. It's fairly popular. So yeah. JoJo. Okay, this is not really season 1. I'm including every single JoJo in this. All the 5-6 seasons that JoJo have, all included. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this down over here. Again, not season 1. This isn't season 1. I don't really like season 1 that much. If I had to rank, this is just the picture. This is all the seasons included, everything, that we have gotten to see in JoJo anime. Everything included. I'm putting it here. It's at the quite at the top. Oh, JoJo's amazing. I didn't really watch JoJo before that much, but after I started reacting to anime, I was like, yeah, JoJo is one of the most popular animes. I probably should watch it so that I can react to it. And I watched it, and I was amazed. I loved it. And then season, 6 came out. I reacted to season 6, and I reacted to the ending of the season 6 as well, how it ended, and I was blown away. JoJo is amazing, and I've heard it gets better. Season 7, I think it's, what is it, Steel Ball Run? I think that's the name. I've heard a lot of people really praise Steel Ball Run a lot, so I hope we get that season very quickly. I'm looking forward to it. JoJo is amazing, and it's just, it's definitely on even before Black Clover. I'm putting it. I could have put it before Hunter x Hunter, but not Hunter x Hunter, sorry, Mob Psycho, but I feel like I like Mob Psycho a bit more than JoJo. But still, it's at the top. Spy Family. Okay, Spy Family is a shonen. Okay, let me just check if I'm in the correct sequence. JoJo, Spy Family, yeah. Spy Family, okay. A lot of people like Spy Family, and I also like it. Again, I would want more seasons. I cannot really put them before all these shows which has so many seasons and so many episodes, like Naruto, Full Metal, Hunter x Hunter, Mob Psycho, JoJo, Black Clover, Death Note, Attack on Titan. I cannot put them before. In no way can I put it at the top, because Spy Family barely had one season, and the next season was kind of slow. The first season was really good, and then season 2 really slowed down. And now we're getting season 2. So that will be also very good. So I cannot really put them before, so I have to put it down below. Spy Family is going to go down, unfortunately for now, but it will go up. I really like the show, and I feel like it will go up. I'm going to be putting Spy Family over here, below Demon Slayer. Again, it's purely because there's not enough stuff to judge. First season was 12 episodes. The second part of season 1 was only 12 episodes or something. It had a really good start and then kind of slowed down, and I've heard it's going to go up again now. But yeah, unless until we get more, I cannot put them before. In no way can I do that, even though it's a really good show. So I'm going to be putting it here. Overall, it's a really interesting show. I love the manga, and I remember reading the manga before this was even a thing. I remember, and I was like, yeah, someday this will get an anime, it'll be crazy. And it did get an anime, and it was crazy. It became one of the top ones. So I'm really looking forward to the upcoming episodes. Chainsaw Man. Ooh, Chainsaw Man. Alright, okay, this will be an exception. Here. This goes down. Chainsaw Man is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth position. Even though Chainsaw Man has only one season or one half of a season, 13 or 12 episodes, I rate it high for that. It's even before Black Clover. Black Clover, which has had so many episodes. Reason is because I love the direction Chainsaw Man is taking. I talked about this in the Seinen, the other list. What list was it? Where I talked about Chainsaw Man? Which list was it? I forgot. I don't remember. There's something, it was somewhere I talked about Chainsaw Man. And I remember saying the same thing, and I'm going to say the same thing here again. Chainsaw Man is amazing. I wasn't expecting anything from this. I thought this was going to be just one of those shonen shows. I watched it, and I know this has high potential. I love the author, and I love his other works as well. I've read a few of his other works, and I can see that this person is a very gifted individual in terms of manga, writing manga and making stories. Oh my god, I love his work. And that's why I have high expectations for Chainsaw Man. It is a shonen that nobody has ever has seen any likes of a shonen like this. It's beautiful. The direction that it takes is so interesting. You cannot expect what is going to happen. And that's the best part of it. It takes all the shonen formula and throws it out the window and gives it a new twist to the shonen formula. I love that. I'm looking forward to whenever season 2 is going to come out. And I'm telling you guys now, this will be big. Chainsaw Man will be big. It is already big, and I feel like it's going to reach heights that no animes have ever seen. It's probably going to. I'm saying this here now. Chainsaw Man will give a fight. it'll give a amazing fight against Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is now at the top of the shonen, like the list, like at the top of everything. I feel like a day will come when Chainsaw Man will probably become a behemoth as Jujutsu Kaisen is, and it'll give it a big fight. I don't know, like it. That's what I feel like, at least. And I rate it high, even higher than Jujutsu Kaisen. I rate it because Chainsaw Man is something that gives the shonen formula such a twist that I'm looking forward to anything that's going to come. Again, I said this before, I'm not a big fan of the shonen style, but Chainsaw Man, I feel like it does something really interesting with that shonen style, and I love it for that. That's why it's over there, and it'll probably get higher if it gets better, more seasons. So yeah, looking forward to it. Mirai Nikki. Okay, Mirai Nikki is, I'm going to put it at the bottom for now, at least here. Before Promise Neverland, like nothing deserves to go below Promise Neverland, in my opinion. So yeah, it's here, Mirai Nikki. I remember watching Mirai Nikki, and I at the very beginning when I was starting watching anime, and I remember kind of liking it and enjoying it. But then I remember kind of trying to rewatch it, when I was like after 6 or 7 years, very recently, and wasn't really feeling it at all. And I realized how my tastes have changed. So now I was like, yeah, I liked it when I started Mirai Nikki, but now if I had to watch it now with my vast knowledge about anime, at least like the amount of anime that I'm watching, with that amount of knowledge and with that amount of experience, I will have to say, I probably would rank it low, because yeah, I tried to rewatch it. I watched the first few episodes and I'm like, wait a minute, is this the same anime that I'm watching? I remember having a blast when I watched it. It was like 5 or 6 years ago when I barely started anime. And I'm like, right, my tastes have changed extremely. Shows that I loved, I probably won't really watch it now, currently, if I had given. So yeah, there you go, it's there. And I feel like one of the biggest reason is because the main character, what's his name, Yuki or Yukiteru, whatever the hell his name is one of the most wimpiest little character I've ever seen. I hate these characters, these type of characters, and I wasn't able to rewatch it. So yeah, I feel like my tastes have changed, and I have to put it down. I cannot put it above that. All right, Bleach. Yes, Bleach is going to go up. Question is where? Oh my God, where should I put Bleach? I'm gonna put Bleach over here. Yes, over there. Again, nostalgia. Nostalgia plays a big factor here. Role here. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nostalgia plays a big role over here. Bleach was also one of the very first animes I've watched. After completing or watching Naruto, I started Bleach, and it was like 7 or 8 years ago. And yeah, Bleach, I have to say, Bleach is a show that surprised me a lot of times, and I don't think I've gotten like very good surprise and very interesting twist it had. For example, one of the biggest twists I remember wasn't really Aizen being a bad guy, because I kind of saw that coming from the very beginning, because he was too nice of a person to be a good guy. But one of the biggest twists I still remember was Ichimaru Gin, or Jin, as the way you call him. His whole thing made me baffled. I'm like, God damn, I wasn't expecting that. Like I still remember when it was revealed what his main goal was and what his plan was. I'm like, wow, you tricked me. That came out of the left. That came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that. And yeah, and a lot of other things as well. For example, Ichigo's whole thing, his secret, everything that we had, and now Bleach came back and made a spectacular return, and we're still getting surprised by the author of Bleach. There are so many things that surprised me, even in Thousand Year Blood Wars as well. And I really love the author for that. He's able to make interesting twists, and I love that. And I feel like shonen animes sometimes lack twists and turns, and he's able to do it very nicely. So yeah, like, and not only that, it's a very solid shonen. You know, it has a very nicely well written like power structure and everything, a foundation, and you know, like it's one of the most beloved shonen animes alongside Naruto. So it's there at the top, and also nostalgia, as I said. All right, the next one is Fire Force. No, what? Wait, yeah, Fire Force. Yeah, Ein no Shobotai. Yeah, okay, Fire Force. It's good. Where should I put it? Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of a change here. I'm gonna put My Hero Academia before Our Exorcist, and I'm gonna put Fire Force before Our Exorcist. I'm gonna put this down. Yeah, I think this is better. Like, yeah, My Hero Academia below. I cannot really put it there. Yeah, I think this is better. Right, Fire Force below My Hero Academia. Yeah, I like Fire Force. It's a good show. It doesn't really have that many seasons. It had 2 seasons only, but you know, like there's a few parts I really enjoyed, and it has really crisp animation. David Productions made it, you know, and it's the author is the Soul Eater author. Soul Eater is a very good show. I love Soul Eater, you know. So overall, it's a very interesting show. It has very interesting, like, you know, like fight scenes and everything. Not only that, it had very interesting characters. Like I remember one of my best, like, you know, like characters in that show, the character that I like absolutely love is, I think, what's his name, Arthur, I think. That kid is crazy, good god. Oh my god, I remember bursting out laughing whenever he did his antics, and good god, he is hilarious. And I remember there's another character there, I think his name is Joker. Yeah, and oh boy, as a villain, he's my chef's kiss, like beautiful. He's like one of the most well-written villains. And you know, like there's a lot of things, like, you know, and I also love the character designs. The characters have such a unique character designs. It's just, you know, like, yeah, oh, beautiful. And it has a story. I kind of like the story, but I'm not that much of a big fan of the story, whatever that's happening over there. But you know, like what I really love about Fire, like, you know, Force, is that it's just the characters, and you know, like the whole aesthetic, and like, you know, the character designs and everything, and the powers, you know, these kind of things. So yeah, it's a good show, but I wouldn't really put it that much high. It's here. Right, next is Tokyo Revengers. Right, I feel like a lot of people won't like this. I'm gonna put Tokyo Revengers at the bottom. Not at the bottom. Like I said, nothing deserves to go below Promise Neverland. I'm going to put it here. I feel like this is fair enough. Now, again, like I said, I feel like a lot of people will disagree with me on this, and a lot of people will be like, what the hell? Why is it over there? It's such a good show. I'm not personally a big fan of Tokyo Revengers. I've heard it gets better, but I don't know. I watched season 1. I was like, yeah, it's a kind of I love. You know what was crazy? I remember a few people kind of comparing, like when I hadn't watched, you know, like Tokyo Revengers. I remember a few people comparing Steins Gate with Tokyo Revengers, and I'm like, whoa, Steins Gate? Like, what? Is it really that good? And I watch it, I'm like, this is nowhere near Steins Gate. Like, what are you on about? I don't know what happens later in the manga, but I have to say, it's an interesting twist, you know, to the whole thing about including like time travel and stuff in it. But I feel like they did a very bad job with the time traveling thing. Like, there's so many things in the time traveling. I don't know. Like, again, like I said, I'm just talking about the anime, just watching the first season of anime. I haven't even watched second season, so I forgive me if they explain about all of this in the future. I have no idea if they don't, if they do. But at least based on the first season, the time traveling made literally no sense. Like, I understood it, but it had no concrete. There was a lot of loopholes in it. At least that's what I saw. But I don't know. I think maybe they'll kind of explain about it properly later in the other seasons. I haven't really watched season 2 and the others, so I cannot really tell that. But I wasn't really a big fan of that. I liked the whole gang part of the whole thing, you know, like the gang, like the different gangs and stuff. That one I really liked. The time travel in the story, I wasn't a big fan of it at all. And this is the thing. I feel like people made me expect so much of this show when I started watching it, because I literally saw people comparing Steins Gate to this, and I'm like, whoa, Steins Gate, this should be really good then. And then I watched it, I'm like, what is this? Like, in no way can, like, yeah, you cannot compare this to freaking Steins Gate. Like, what are you on about? So I feel like that kind of made me bummed out about the whole show. That's number one. I enjoyed the gang part of the show. I didn't like the main character at all. I feel like he was more of a narrator than an actual main character. I remember him just standing and narrating whatever is happening on the screen. And I'm like, what are you doing? I can freaking see what's happening. I don't need the main character to freaking narrate me the same thing 5 to 10 times. Like, just, I remember there was like a scene in the anime where there was like characters fighting and everything, and he's just standing there and he's like, oh, this is happening, that's going on, he got hurt, like, now he's punching him, oh, he cannot get up, what will happen, what will I do? And I'm like, goddamn, like, if you don't have anything to contribute, just stand there. Like, why are you narrating the thing that I can see with my own eyes and I can hear? Like, what's up with that? And I think that's probably something that the anime kind of like, I doubt that was in the manga. I don't think any manga can do anything like that. Like, what is the point of narrating something that you can see? I don't, and also the fact that he wasn't really at all involved that much with the first season, even though people did tell me that in the upcoming seasons he gets better and better and he becomes really good and really capable. And I feel like that might happen, but I don't know, like, season 1 made me so disappointed with it, with that season, that I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch the second season. I will probably do, me being me, I watch like every show. I'll probably wait for the show to at least come to a certain section, like at least 3 or 4 seasons after this. I'll probably binge everything after that because I feel like that will be better. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Tokyo Revengers at all, and like I said, these are the reasons why. And I don't know if anything will change in the future anime seasons or the manga seasons. If it does, then I'm happy, if it changes, and I will definitely watch it then. But if it doesn't change, my stance on this anime will probably stay here at the lower part, because I actually had high expectations for this when I started, and I was very disappointed, at least. Like, and I still hear people saying so many good things about Tokyo Revengers. I didn't feel that at all after watching season 1. But you know what? I'll give it time. Let me wait for a few more seasons, and then I'll watch it again and binge watch it. And maybe my opinion will change. We'll see. But for now, it's there. Again, it's just my opinion. I know this. I'm pretty sure there'll be 3 or 4 people who loves this show, and who'll probably be disappointed watching me say all of this. But again, this is my outlook on the show. I wasn't really a big fan, and yeah. Alright, Shokugeki no Soma, I think. Yeah, it's a good show, I watched up until 3rd or the 4th season, and I haven't really watched after that. You cannot really tell how it goes. But yeah, I enjoyed it, like, it's like a food shonen kind of thing. Food shonen. I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Food shonen. Like, a shonen show with food. Yes, beautiful. I like it. I liked it, like, it was really interesting seeing how the characters made the food. It was like a whole shonen battle kind of thing, Yeah, it was entertaining. Okay, and the next one, I'm going to try to quicken this up because it's taking a long time, because there's a lot of shows that I've watched actually from this and have a lot to talk about. That's why it's taking a bit longer than the other tier lists. Fairy Tail. Okay. Where should I put this? Here, at the middle. I don't think I could put it above that, because even though there was a lot of things that I really loved about Fairy Tail, there was a lot of things that it lacked. and I feel like, you know, like those parts kind of brought the show down overall, especially the ending. And like it's here, I feel like it probably would have been even lower if nostalgia wasn't a factor. Fairy Tail was also one of the shows I watched a long time ago when I barely started anime. And you'll know, like, you know, when you were starting anime, all the shows that you've watched is just so good to you. Like Fairy Tail, I loved Fairy Tail. Absolutely, I adored Fairy Tail. But now that I've watched so many animes and everything, I can see its shortcomings. But at the same time, I'm not denying its, like, you know, like high parts as well. There's a lot of like things that I loved about Fairy Tail. I really love Mashima, like the author, his ability to write like, what can I say, like you know, science fiction. Like I'm watching Eden Zero, and I can tell you this, that like fantasy, he can mix fantasy and science fiction in such an interesting way. I feel like that is why I absolutely adored Fairy Tales. Like there was one arc which was the okay, just a sec, guys. Battery is low. Just a minute. So yeah, as I was saying, there's a few arcs I remember that I absolutely adored in Fairy Tail. The Adolus arc and the Eclipse arc, and both of them were related to time travel and, you know, like parallel worlds. And I feel I still remember everything in that, and I absolutely adored those two arcs because they, like, he's able to mix fantasy and science fiction in such an interesting way. I really adored it. And I'm watching Eden Zero now, and I have to say, like, science fiction and these type of things, he's really good at, like, you know, this department. And like I like that, those that's like one of the positive points about Fairy Tail. And then there was a few other things as well that I really liked, and, you know, like some parts which has, you know, the typical shonen, like, you know, stuff like friendship power and all that. And yeah, but again, there's a few things that literally makes no sense, and they just, like, you know, like just winged it. It's just like that, you know. And I was like, what is this, why did it become like this? Couldn't there be a better way of like approaching this? So yeah, it's a mixed bag, and that is why it's here. And it would have been lower if nostalgia wasn't speaking, you know, nostalgia factor. It's boosting. It's boosting the ranking a little bit. So it's here, you know. And the three shows that are like boosted by nostalgia factor is Bleach, Naruto, and Fairy Tail. These three. Nostalgia factor is boosting these three, you know, high up. Okay, right. Okay, wait a minute. Next one. What is this? Soul Eater? Yep, I think. Yeah, Soul Eater. Right, Soul Eater. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Soul Eater is good. You know, it's really good. Okay, am I? Yeah, I think this part is good. Soul Eater is quite an old show, but I watched it recently when I started reacting to anime, and I loved it. It's absolutely great. Even though the anime kind of goes downhill by the end of it. Again, Soul Eater is a victim of the anime original ending. That is why it goes downhill. It becomes so bad at the final two episodes. I was baffled. I was actually baffled, especially the final episode. I was like, what did I just witness? Such a good show brought down to this. So yeah, I know that's not how it ends in the manga, but when it came out, the manga was probably ongoing, and yeah, that's why it went on an anime only route, completely just butchering the whole thing by the end of it. And yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, but overall it's really good. There's a lot of sections that, you know, like it does really nice, and, you know, like it's only not only one character, but like a few characters, like 4 or 5 characters who are like the main characters, and each and every character kind of got equal amount of screen time, and they were really nicely able to, you know, like show all these characters and, you know, like make a beautiful story. So yeah, Soul Eater is really nice. I like it. Right, next one is Dorororo. Dororo is going to be, oh, it's a good show. However, I don't know where to put it. It's going to be here somewhere. I cannot really put it at the top. I cannot put it here either. Let me put it below Soul Eater. Yeah, but Spy Family, no. You know what? Like I said, Spy Family needs a little bit more seasons for it at least to be at least higher up. I know it can do it. It can go higher up, but I will not put it higher up unless and until we at least get a few more seasons. And the difference between like, and I'm putting Dororo here because Dororo is an actually a whole. It tells a whole story. It has ended. That is why, unlike Spy Family, which is probably going to go for way later in the future as well. It needs time to develop. However, Doro is a full-fledged story, and it was amazing. If you haven't watched Dororo, you should definitely do so. Yeah. Like, okay, wait a minute. Now that I'm thinking about, why is it here in the Shonen list? This should be in the Seinen list. I feel like, again, this is weird. Like the tags are so weird in some of these animes. Is this a shonen anime? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it shouldn't even be here. Oh my god, I should have taken this out from here. This should have been in the seinen list. Nothing I can do about it now. I'm just going to put it there. Yeah, I don't think this belongs here at all. No, Dororo is, yeah, it should be in the seinen list. Anyways, whatever. I'm just going to put it here for now. And that's why I was thinking, like, like I cannot really properly put it anywhere. I was thinking, why can I not put it anywhere? And now I realized why. Because it's completely different from all the other shows. It's a pure seinen show. I don't think Dororo counts as a shonen. You know what? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's at least that's what I think. Like, why is it even in the shonen list? Again, I might be wrong. Maybe this is a shonen. Let me know. But I don't think it is a shonen. It should be in the seinen list. Anyways, so yeah, it's a really good show. I'm putting it here, for now at least. Okay, the next one is Devilman Crybaby. I think I haven't watched this. I haven't watched it, so I'm gonna put it here. All right, Saikikuso no Sainan. Ooh, this is going to go at the here. Yeah, I cannot put it above Hunter x Hunter. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Oh no, I need to. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Psychic Kusono Sainan is going to be here. Now, I feel like Psychic Kusono Sainan is a mix. It is a shonen. I can see, like, it gives me shonen vibes. At the same time, it's a fantasy, magic, that kind of thing. Psycho, like, like psychic powers and all that. So, yeah, a great show. You should watch this if you haven't. It has comedy, it has parody, it has shonen style thing. It's a bit fast paced, I have to say, though, like, but it's fun. It's really fun, and it has an actual story. And seeing Psyche develop, it's a joy. Seeing him change from the kid we got introduced at the beginning to how he was by the end of it. Okay, I'm trying to, as you can see, I'm trying to actually fasten my pace because it's becoming bigger and bigger, this video. All right, the next one is Owari no Seraph. Now, Owari no Seraph, I've seen is quite popular. I did watch the first, I think, 2 seasons. It was okay. I wasn't really that impressed by it. I liked the setting of the story. It had like a post-apocalyptic vibe kind of thing. But I feel like it needs a few more seasons to get better. So again, just because of lack of seasons, I'm going to be putting it down. I'm going to put it here for now. Owari no Seraph over here before Mirai Nikki. I think this has potential, but again, we don't have much anime, like here. Can you even understand? I feel like a lot of people won't be able to understand what this is. This is Owari no Seraph, this one. So yeah, so there you go. Like, I liked it, but I feel like it needs a little bit more content for it to be a little bit higher up. But yeah, all right. The next one, it's Tower of God. Yep. Okay, Tower of God. I actually really like Tower of God. I reacted to it, and I didn't really have that much high expectations for this, but I actually really liked it. I'm gonna put it here. Yeah. No. Yeah, here. You can see, My Hero Academia is going down and down. Like, And you can see probably, like I said, this is why I said, like, My Hero Academia, even though I like it, is not that high in my list. I prefer a lot other animes than My Hero Academia. All right, Tower of God, I'm going to put it here. It has one season only, but I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to season 2, when I think it's going to come very recently. But yeah, Tower of God is very interesting. It's a obviously it's a Korean manga. I think manhwa, that's what they're called. And usually I don't watch or read Korean mangas and stuff. It's not really my style. I don't like the whole I've like most of the Korean mangas I've tried to read. They just have the same thing of like like what do you call it? The whole like most of them are like power fantasy where characters get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and it just keeps going and going, and there's no other development. Like, so I'm not that much of a big fan of Korean mangas. There are exceptions, like I said. One of them is this one. I watched it and I really loved it. It's really good, and I'm sure there are other exceptions. I just don't know about them that much. But a few of the Korean mangas I have read, it wasn't really my style, and that's why I don't really go for them. But this is one of the exceptions. Tower of God is an absolute gem. It's really good. It was so good that I actually considered reading the manga, but then I thought, like, let me wait. I'm sure it'll get upcoming seasons. I'll just wait for that. And yeah, we're getting one. There you go. So yeah, it's really good. It's a interesting. It's a very fantasy like like story, and I love fantasy and stuff. So yeah. Okay, the next one is God of High School. Now, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't like this show that much. I feel like a lot of people absolutely loves this show or the manga or manhwa. Sorry, not again. It's a Korean manga, I think. Yeah, but I am not that much of a big fan of this at all. I watched the anime. I think I reacted to it as well. It was okay, very below average. It has a lot of fight scenes and beautiful animations, but those I don't rank shows based on those. Like unless and until you get actual development in characters and stuff, just being good at fighting and everything doesn't really do it for me. So yeah, there you go. It's just there. It's gonna be there. So there you go. Okay, the next one. To Your Eternity or Fumetsu no Anatae. Okay, this show. Oh, this show. This is a. Damn, Attack on Titan is quite low. I can see that. Good God. Oh my God. You can see, like, you can probably guess, like, everything that you think would be up is kind of downwards in my list. And that's why I said at the beginning of this list, my taste is a bit different. Like, most of you guys won't agree with it. Here. Like, the most of the most shonen like animes are kind of going down and down and down, as you can see. The most shonen like show here is Jujutsu Kaisen, I feel like, and like Naruto and all that is going down. Even though Naruto's not down because of like nostalgia and everything, and it's a really good show in itself. But yeah, here Fumetsu no Anata is over here. Oh, okay, so there you go. Yeah, I can see this being a shonen anime, even though it has like more like fantasy and seinen. It has shonen, like a shonen vibe as well. I watched the 2 seasons. Absolute like a gem of a show. It has a very unique storyline, and yeah, like the character is an actual rock at the beginning, and from a rock he changes and becomes a person, and later on like an actual sensible person, and makes his own decisions. That is character development. You start from a rock. Yeah, this is a very unique show. That is why I said, and yeah, I love it. Gintama, yes, instant top. Even before Naruto, like nostalgia factor won't be able to save Naruto from Gintama at least. So yeah, I've said this multiple times and multiple lists and everything. Gintama is the top. It is the top for me. Like one of the top 10 animes is Gintama, my anime. And I was thinking, like, does Gintama consider as shonen? Yes. Gintama considers of everything, I think. You know, it's a shonen, it's a seinen, it's a comedy, it's a parody, it's a it's a fantasy. It's not an isekai though. I was thinking, is it an isekai? Nope, there isn't any isekai form things over there. What else? Well, like, it's not a shoujo, okay? Like, you know, but I feel like all the genres that you can probably think of, you know, at least 80% of the genres are there in Gintama. So yeah, there you go. This definitely considers as a shonen. It also considers as a seinen, in my opinion. It's mixed. Everything is there in Gintama. So yeah, and Gintama was going to be there in the comedy tier list that I make as well, and it's going to be at the top again. Oh god, this show it's multi-talented, and I love it. You know, it's there. Yeah, Gintama is not coming down from there, and I can probably say Gintama is going to stay there. It'll be the first, the top one. So yeah, okay, the next one, High School of the Dead. I think, yeah, yes, High School of the Dead. Okay, I feel like this show goes down extremely just because it has one season. I'm going to put it here before Arino Seraph. It has a very interesting theme to it, but it has only one season, and I do know the reason why it didn't get, like, you know, like sequels. I think that the author passed away. That's as far as I know. The author of High School of the Dead passed away, and you know, like that was it. That was the only like chapter section of the manga I think that he made. So yeah, we're not getting High School of the Dead in the future. So yeah, that's very unfortunate. You know, like the author, you know, like rest in peace. And yeah, I liked season 1, the only, like, you know, season that we have. But yeah, it's going to be here for now, at least, you know. And the fact that it's still here with only one season shows how good it was. I liked it, you know. It has an interesting, like, you know, theme to it, like zombies and, like, you know, like stuff. Like I feel like the very first, one of the very first zombie animes. It was very over exaggerated though, if you remember, with the jiggle physics and everything. But yeah, it was entertaining and fun. What the hell is? Okay. Right, okay, the next one is, I think, Kuroko no Basket. I haven't watched Kuroko no Basket. I don't usually watch sports anime that much, so yeah. Beastars, right. Yeah, I can see Beastars being a shonen anime. I can see that. Okay, Beastars is going to go at the, I'm going to put Beastars over here. Oh boy, a lot of people will be so mad. I'm putting it before Attack on Titan. And Jujutsu Kaisen. And Demon Slayer. Oh my god. Oh god, I feel like I shouldn't have made this list. A lot of people will be so mad with this list. It's over there. Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, my reasoning. Again, I prefer these type of shows more, you know. And this is why I said at the beginning that shonen, the genre in itself, is kind of low down in my list. I don't usually watch shonen or prefer shonen. I prefer all the other genres way more than the shonen genre. And there's a few that I absolutely adore, like Naruto, Gintama, and all that, and that's just over there. But most of the shows you can see are not really shonen. Like Fumetsu no Anatai, is it a shonen? I don't think so. You know, Mob Psycho, I don't think it's a shonen. Kind of, it is. It has shonen things. You know, like what else? Beastars, you know, like S Class. Like these shows, you know, like, yeah, so you can see that's why this list is. And like whatever the hell you say about Beastars, I feel like everyone who says like, oh, Beastars is bad, this and that, what the hell are you watching, they haven't watched the show. Like, if you want to judge this show, watch the show first and then judge. I'm pretty sure, you know, half of the people who try to judge this show based on its appearance and stuff don't know half of the things about what this show like deals with. This is one of the most, I guess you could say, you know, like thought-provoking, I wouldn't really say, but it has a very deep storyline. And with the way the characters are, you know, like they're actually, what do you call them? I think there's a term that they use for, and like they can have animal-like features. The way they are, you know, like the story, it deals with so many, like, you know, interesting things, like, you know, like the whole dynamic between herbivores and carnivores. a lot of stuff that you actually kind of think about. So for anyone who judges this show, I'm like, shut the hell up, watch it first and then judge it. Like if you don't like it after that, then it's fair, but don't try to judge a show without watching it. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people have being like, has judged this show without even watching it, and that pisses me off. Yeah, if you watch it and you still don't like it, it's fine. Then that's not your cup of tea. It's not your taste, and I can respect that. Without watching, if you judge it, yeah, like I don't like that. But yeah, like it's a great show. I at least really love it, and like these type of shows, I really like prefer, and I kind of like, that's why I put it before Attack on Titan. Again, I'm sorry if I offended you. A lot of your beloved shows will be here at the bottom here, and I feel like this video will trigger a lot of people. But I cannot lie. I can just lie and say like, oh, Attack on Titan number 2. Oh, like Jujutsu Kaisen number 3. I can just do that, but I will not do that. I cannot lie to myself or to anyone. So this is my honest opinion about my tastes in these shows. And it's a bit different than you probably would have expected. All right. Black Butler. Yeah, I haven't watched it. So it's over there. Dead Man Wonderland, I think. I watched it so long ago, I don't remember anything. So I'm going to put it in the forgotten list. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball and everything, I haven't watched. I watched the Buu Saga though. I watched the Cell Saga. From Frieza, like, and Goku being Super Saiyan, from there to the end of Buu Saga, I've watched nothing other than that. So I cannot really judge this based on that only. So I'm going to put it over there. Jibaku Shounen Hanako-kun. I'll be honest again, I don't really like this. It's okay, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting, but the style of the story and the show is not really up my alley. And I'm going to be putting it here. Yeah, over here. Yeah, I think here is here. Yeah, I think that's better. So yeah, okay. Wait, what is this? I cannot recognize it. What is that? Oh, Boruto. Oh my god. Yo. I'm sorry. It's with a lot of pain in my heart I'm doing this. Boruto deserves the bottom. I watched 100 episodes expecting things to change and nothing changed. And I just dropped it. I think like we're getting a new anime now. Maybe it's going to follow. Like the main problem, what the main problem with Boruto is? The fact that they decided to make it a weekly thing. Even though the manga is a monthly. Which genius thought that would be good? It's filled with just nothing. Like, back in the days when animes used to catch up to the manga and then they would have a hiatus for like at least like, I don't know, 6 to 1 year, and then we'd get anime back again. They should have done that over here. Who the hell thought it would be a good idea to post filler after filler after filler every single week when the manga is a monthly manga? I think it's a monthly manga, correct me if I'm wrong. Without any source material, the anime just goes around in circles with accomplishing nothing. And the fillers aren't even interesting. It's just same thing over and over again. So that is why this show fails so bad. And overall, I think Boruto, the story in itself, is not as good as Naruto. Obviously not. Naruto was one of the best things that have ever happened to anime. And Boruto was in no way able to replicate that in any form. But still, it was interesting. It is interesting, I know. But the anime even diluted that and even watered that down by putting out anime every weekly. I think like they finally realized like this isn't really happening. Like it's not really a good decision to put every single week. That's why they went on a hiatus now. They should have done that way before. I don't know what they thought, and they decided to put out fillers every week when the manga is a monthly manga and they're like a weekly anime. I feel like 3 or 4 chapters can easily get fit in one anime episode, and that's why they need to wait a lot after the manga goes a long amount of time, like maybe like 100 or 150 chapters. They can make one season of anime, you know. Then that's the reality, and then they still decided, even though the manga is monthly, they decided to put on weekly episodes. Baffling, you know. Like, and I wouldn't really be that mad if the fillers were interesting. The fillers are not interesting. I've watched 100 episodes of almost every episode being filler, and I've got fed up with it, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not watching this, and I just dropped it. Maybe I'll watch it again. Maybe I'll just watch the canon episodes in the future, because this isn't it. No way. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to do this. It pains me to put Boruto over there, like Naruto being here and Boruto being here. Just good god. This is purely the anime. I haven't read the manga. I'm not talking about the manga, like I said. Purely based on anime, this is what it is. Here and here. Right. Okay. Blue Lock. Okay. I. It's a good show, but I'm not that much of a big fan of it. Oh god, where should I put this? Here. I know Blue Lock is very popular, a lot of people love it. I have watched the anime, but I wasn't really that much of a big fan. Mostly because I don't really like sports anime that much. Yeah, I know it's not really it is a sports anime, but you know, like it has like a lot of shonen stuff. But like the main thing is football. So I wasn't a big fan. I feel like people who love football and stuff, this will be their absolute favorite anime because it had shonen goodness and football in it. But since I'm not really a big fan of football, I don't really watch football or anything. It automatically goes down in my list, even though it has a lot of shonen stuff. Like the main theme in itself didn't really interest me. Like shonen was the spice on top of the main thing, in my opinion. So if I don't really like the food in itself, what good will the spice do? That's the main thing here. So I don't like the food in itself. So a lot, like any amount of good spice and flavoring wouldn't really matter. But yeah. Okay, the next one is Magi, the Kingdom of Magic. Okay, this is a very underrated show, I think. I'm gonna put it here. They should have continued the anime. I don't know why they stopped. There's a lot of content like left to adapt. I don't know why they stopped. But yeah, manga is really good. If you haven't watched it, it's really nice. It's very interesting. And yeah, I like it. I really like it. I'm going to be putting it over here. That is why. Kekkai Sensen. I watched it, but I've forgotten, honestly speaking. So I cannot really judge this one. And then we have Jigokuraku. And the Jigokuraku, it has barely started. So I feel like it has a lot to develop. I'm going to put Jigokuraku over here for now. It will go up. Now, all the very recent shows are kind of down, you can see, in the list. But that's mainly because I feel like I need a little bit more to judge it properly. Because Jigokuraku has only one season. Spy Family again has 1.5 season, kind of. That is why these are at the bottom, kind of at the bottom. Dr. Stone, I feel like I could kind of boost Dr. Stone up a little bit more. Can I? Let me see. No, I think Dr. Stone is here. It's okay over here. Yeah. Even though I like it, like I'm like like all the other shows, I cannot really put Dr. Stone above all these other shows that I absolutely love. So yeah, there you go. This became a huge video, and I knew this was going to be very big because I needed to talk about all these shonen shows that I've always wanted to talk about. And there you go. So that is the top 50, my arranging of the animes, the top shonens. And yeah, so here you can see Gintama, Naruto, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, Saikikuso, Mob Psycho, JoJo, Chainsaw Man, Fumetsu no Anatai. And no, you know what? Nah. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put it here. Wait. Yeah, I think this is better. Yeah, right. I made a little bit of a change here. Yeah. Okay, this is okay, I think. Okay, Gintama, Naruto, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, Saikikuso, Mob Psycho, JoJo, Chainsaw Man, Black Clover. Yeah. Then Death Note, Fumetsu no Anatai, Beastars, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, S-Class, Demon Slayer, Soul Eater, Dororo, Magi. Yeah. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna put the list here. You can watch it. And yeah, so there you go. That was my list. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of things that you'll probably disagree with, especially this list, this part. Attack on Titan below Beastars, Jujutsu Kaisen below Beastars. This will probably, like I said, a lot of people won't be happy about this whole thing. Demon Slayer is also here. So yeah, and that is why I said I gave a fair warning at the beginning that you'll probably not like this. But yeah, this is my taste. This is my taste in shonen animes. It's not really that shonen like, as you can see. My taste in shonen animes isn't really shonen like, because the top shonen like animes are here at the bottom. So so yeah, there you go. That is it. Yeah, so this is just my preferences, how I prefer my shows. And yeah, so there you go. So that is it, guys. I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. Again, I would like to say these are all just based on my opinions. I'm not judging a show based on how they are or whatnot. I'm just basing it on my preference, and this is how I prefer my shows. And yeah. So thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to make more lists like this. Maybe the comedy list next time I'm going to make. And then I'm going to make like a fantasy list, or something like that. And then like maybe a seinen list. Well, like when I get time, I'll do all of those. So if you're still here, thanks for sticking around. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.